This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
We begin today at noon with a look at some of the damage caused by last night's storms. The National Weather Service surveying several possible tornado tracks, one of them in Cahokia Heights, where the storm damaged homes. The Weather Service confirming an EF0 tornado with 80-mile-an-hour winds hit just east of Horseshoe Lake in Collinsville. Another hit Marine, Illinois. Now to South St. Louis County. This is damage along I-55 near Lindbergh. Crews had to close the highway for a while to repair damaged traffic signs. Wind also knocked down power poles and trees in the area. Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. The Weather Service has also found damage consistent with an EF1 tornado in the area of Brookdale Farms in Eureka. It says there's EF0 damage from the same tornado in High Ridge. We begin our coverage with 5 on your side's Travis Cummings.
The National Weather Service is on the ground today assessing damage and looking into tornado reports. We can confirm at least one tornado did hit this area. We're here in the Jefferson County part of Eureka this morning, right in front of Brooksdale Farms, and you can see they have the street blocked off, a road closed sign and cones there anchoring this area because they are trying to really assess the damage that they experienced overnight. Brookdale Farms is an attraction and event space about 30 minutes west of St. Louis in Eureka off of Twin River Road, just 10 minutes from Six Flags St. Louis. The tornado downed power lines off of Twin Rivers Road as well as blew parts of the roof off a farm building on Brooksdale Farms. People were actually inside that building planning a wedding when they had to take cover during the intense storms. We talked to the fire chief about what this venue and others in the area are facing.
We had a confirmed tornado touchdown in the area, and so far the only thing we've noticed, or only thing we found, was significant damage to these two buildings here. There's been power lines down throughout the area, and we're able to, you can hear the drones overhead, to checking the area to make sure that there's no additional damage. There were several trees across the road, but to our knowledge at this point right now, this is the only two structures that have been affected.
As the sun came up today, a lot of people in the metro area had to face damage, and so crews will be working to get all of those things fixed. Reporting in Jefferson County, Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
All right, thank you, Travis. Here's a live look at the damage at Worldwide Technology Speedway in Madison. You can see the bleachers have been knocked over onto the drag strip. The track says this weekend's races have all been canceled. Our team of meteorologists spent most of the night on the air following the developments. It is a much calmer day today, and we can expect a cooler weekend. Jim Castillo is here with the Weather First forecast.
Yeah, hi Kay. You can feel that cooler air, and I'll have more on that in Maine weather. But the storm reports, numerous, they keep coming in, and the surveyors are still out there checking the damage. And consistent of an EF1 tornado was, again, like Travis was talking about, Burns Mill, Twin Rivers Road. EF1 has winds of about 86 to 110 miles an hour. And that same circulation went right over High Ridge. And EF0 winds consistent of 65 to 85 mile per hour winds. And then another little red dot there, which is Pontoon Beach area, tree damage consistent of a tornado and east of Granite City. And then Troy also another report. And then Barr, Illinois, way up north, Macoupin County, Greene County line. Boy, we were very busy all night long. Here's a beautiful picture of the severe weather. Cody sent this in, Carrollton, Illinois. It was that black and green sky. Same in Greenfield, Illinois. Tracy sending that in. But that's over with. We're good for the weekend. We're clear now, but we're going to talk about areas of frost and more on that coming up in just a few minutes, Kay.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Jim. Remember, you can always find the latest forecast on the 5 on your side app, and we'll notify you when severe weather is approaching your home. It's free to download on your phone's app store. Just search KSDK. Happening today, jury selection for the trial of Thomas Kinworthy. He's the man accused of shooting and killing St. Louis police officer Tamaris Bohannon near Tower Grove Park in 2020. The trial is expected to start next week, and 5 on your side will be in the courtroom with updates throughout the case. The man responsible for the crash that caused Tennessee teenager Janae Edmondson to lose her legs will spend more than 18 years in prison. A judge handed down the maximum sentence to Daniel Riley. It's actually 2 more years than he would have served had he taken a plea deal in the case. 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers was in the courtroom and has reaction from his victim.
Janae Edmondson was 17 years old and in town for a volleyball tournament in February of 2023 when Daniel Riley blew through a yield sign, slammed into another car, and into Janae, severing her legs. Today, her mother read an impact statement to the judge.
She still has so much more to endure in her life as we do. She will face it head on because that's who she is.
She also had some words for Riley.
He has shown no remorse, no empathy, because he don't have it in him. It's not in his soul. Compassion comes from being held accountable to higher standards. He's never been held accountable before for anything in his life.
Riley said nothing and showed no emotion when Judge Michael Noble sentenced him to the maximum amount of time the jury recommended.
The jury found that this was not an accident. Mr. Riley, you were responsible for your choices from the moment you walked out of your home into that rental car. You chose not to have a valid driver's license for 5 years. You chose to violate the conditions of your house arrest. Those choices have consequence.
At one point, Riley's attorney Daniel Deemer asked the judge to note for the record how Janae was wearing pants and prosthetics. In his appeal, Deemer argues that Janae leaving her legs exposed at trial was prejudicial to the jury. Janae tells us she was fitted for new prosthetics since the trial.
I did get a new socket. That's a suction socket, so it's just way more comfortable and more convenient.
She also talked about her reaction to the judge's decision.
I was happy with it. Either way, if it was consecutive or concurrent, I mean, he was going to go to jail for what he did, so I mean, I was happy with either one.
So was her father, James Edmondson.
It was closure for us that the judge looked at all of the facts of the jury of his peers, gave him that sentencing of close to 19 years.
And
she's walking, so that's a good thing.
That was Christine Byers reporting. The Edmondson's civil case against the city of St. Louis is still pending. They allege the city failed to properly maintain the safety of the intersection where the crash happened. The city denies the allegation and has requested that case go to a jury trial. Still ahead, retaliation in the Middle East. What we know about Israel's latest salvo. Allergy season, worse than usual this spring. What doctors say you can do to lessen your symptoms.